After your first week of riding a motorcycle, you're gonna start to realize that there are a lot of differences between where you ride and what time is best for you to ride. Certain locations are better during different times of the day, and as such, these locations need different riding tactics. You can't expect a city rider to dodge deer the first time he rides in the country at night, and you can't expect a rural rider to know to sit in gridlock traffic for 10 minutes either. I hope this video helps you understand the different environments that we ride in. I'm going to break this video down into 3 separate parts: urban, suburban, and rural areas. With each location, I'll mention the best times to ride, the biggest dangers, and the biggest benefits to riding there. Before we do, hi, how are you? Do you know where you are? Do you realize where you've stumbled into, you hapless little soul? It's me, Chamois Boob, back to deliver motorcycle content direct into your brain. Let's be real, if you could get Yammie Noob injected straight into your vein, you'd do it, you junkie. Since you're probably as motorcycle obsessed as I am, let me tell you about the bike giveaway we've got going on October 17th. I will be selecting a winner for our giveaway Yamaha R3 and our giveaway Suzuki SV650. It blows my mind that it's already September, and that's kind of crazy, but if you want a chance to win, there's 3 ways to do it. You can sign up on Patreon to support the series, you earn additional chances to win, and you get entered automatically. It's definitely the best option. You can also buy merch at our store, and every dollar you spend gets you an entry to win, or you can go to our Patreon and see how to send a letter in to me completely for free to earn a chance to win. Click the links below and find out which method works for you and get your chances in. And now rumor has it that our next giveaway is going to be 3, maybe even 4 different motorcycles, so tune in for that. Now, without further ado, let's look at some different riding tactics. Urban. The city life. Gridlock traffic, sweet and nasty smells at the same time, and getting cussed at by drivers. The urban environment is fast-paced, has little room to breathe, and requires quick thinking. It's not the environment for the total newbie and should be an environment that grows on the rider. Don't buy a bike at the downtown Ducati dealership and then try to ride it home 30 miles outside of the city. Just kidding. Get a brand spanking new Ducati V4S and send that cookie straight into the goddamn sun as your first bike, because Yammie Noob said, if you're not on a later bike, you might as well just hang up your helmet, boy. If it isn't rush hour or gridlock, it's a good time to ride. For the night owls or squids with sleeping problems, the urban environment is ideal for, well, riding. Don't ride during rush hour. It's especially bad during the summer when traffic is at its peak. If you can't lane split, your risk of being hit increases. Your risk of heat exhaustion also increases. And if you're a new rider and you're going to stall a lot, the urban environment and traffic is not the place for you. Night riding, as counterintuitive as it sounds, is probably going to be the safest in the city. Also, urban riding at night just feels cool. I love cruising through the city at night, my bike, and narrowly avoiding the drunks that stumble off the street having been on 6th Street and had one too many bottomless mimosas. Your biggest dangers are distracted drivers, fast-moving traffic, and sudden lane changes. Cars and trucks may not see you, so you're at a higher risk. People in the city tend to pay attention to their driving a little bit better than other areas, but they still do not religiously check their mirrors before crossing 4 lanes of traffic. As a rider, you're gonna get distracted. That cute girl in the short shorts walking by, you'll stall your bike when she looks at you. That cute boy in the clear glasses, hats, and short shorts screaming about turbo busas, you bet you're gonna stall it while looking at him. You need to pay the most attention in the urban environment because of the distractions, traffic, and dangers. So what are the benefits to city riding? Kinda sounds like crap. You get great stop and go practice at stoplights with no traffic. Because of the street lights, bugs are at a minimum, which keeps your helmet face shield cleaner. There's plenty of opportunities to practice low-speed maneuvers, high-speed maneuvers, cornering on the on and off ramps, and there's lots of smooth pavement, granted when there's no road construction. Cities are also well lit, which makes it easier to be seen by drivers. The views of cities at night are some of the best. Seeing the specific skylines of certain cities might just make the ride worth it. You might not see a large amount of cops in urban environments. They patrol the areas as they do, but they usually have their full list from dispatch. They might not even bother with you if your timing's right. Now let's talk about suburban riding. Suburban riding. I'm not talking about your mom's SUV either. I'm talking about being in between the city and the country. It's not quite gridlock, it's not quite deliverance territory, but it can still be both fun and scary to ride these streets. The best time to tear up the streets of suburbia are going to be outside of business hours and during the day. Mornings are going to be hectic with school buses, commuters, and businesses opening. It'll almost feel like the city, and the afternoons will be filled with much of the same, since school and parents are on the roads at separate times. Traffic peaks from 3 to after 5 p.m. The biggest dangers you'll face in suburban areas are going to be distracted drivers. People who text and drive will probably be the most common danger you see on the roads. Road rage is also increased because of the streets of school and work. Most road rage incidents occur in suburban areas and not the inner city areas. You're also going to see wildlife, experience bugs at night, and even have to deal with drunk drivers. Whereas urbanites can call cabs and Ubers, those in suburbs are more likely to try the old drive yourself home method, which increases the dangers of being hit by a drunk driver. Of the top 25 cities with the most drunk drivers, 4 are major cities and can be recognized by name. The other 21 are suburbs of major cities. If you ride at night, be extra careful on the weekends. It's fun to cruise the strip and show off your 50cc Woolly machine, but keep in mind, not everyone on the road is going to be sober. Law enforcement's going to have its highest presence in suburban areas, and I know you're going to want to squid, pop wheelies, and do all kinds of things I don't condone but want to see videos of, so you might as well get a good heads up. Suburban areas have the most active law enforcement because of their ability to sit and watch traffic. There's too much going on in the city, and there's too little going on in the rural countryside. This makes it the suburbs the perfect place to write tickets every day on everyone enjoying their R6. Seriously, I have never in my life gotten a ticket in an urban environment, and my split for law enforcement encounters in the suburban environment versus rural environments, it's probably 80-20. Suburban cops are bored. They're probably looking for something to do, and you on your cool motorcycle could be the perfect target. The benefits in suburban areas are some of the same in the city, with street lights, low wildlife populations in certain areas, and decent roads to ride. You'll also get the benefits of the rural areas with long stretches of roads for those dank nooners, and also get some twisties to get your lean angle going on. If you're looking to practice or sharpen your skills, the suburban areas will have parking lots for days. Cities have nearly no parking, while suburban Americas have parking lots for miles. You could literally create a course outside of a mall after hours and have lap times. That's how big some suburban parking lots are. So if you're trying to get your lean on, trying to do some slow speed stuff, suburb's gonna be your best bet. Now let's talk about rural. Welcome to the middle of nowhere, the smell of manure, the sighting of deer and other wildlife. Is it ever safe to ride here? The best time to ride in the country is going to be during sunlight. The sun will keep most of the critters and wildlife away from the roads. Early at dawn and towards dusk, the wildlife will start to come out of the woods and into your lane. With the bright sun overhead, most critters tend to hide and you can clearly see the roads you've probably never been on. Seriously, depending on where you live and how rural it is, dusk is probably the worst time of day to ride when it comes to rural environments. In Australia, it's well known that kangaroos come out in full force during dusk, so be mindful of wildlife during this. The biggest dangers in the rural environment are wildlife, the roads, and sudden changes in weather. This includes not only deer, moose, squirrels, and other animals, but also insects. Hitting even a squirrel or trying to avoid one at high speed could cause a crash. Insects aren't really that bothersome unless you're squidding and you hit a cicada at 80 miles per hour wearing only a t-shirt. Trust me, it hurts. At nighttime, you're going to need a rag to wipe your face shield every so often because the accumulation of bugs will prevent you from seeing. Because there's no lights besides the stars and the moon, night riding in rural areas can be dangerous. When it comes to the roads, the rural areas have a lot of unpaved and gravel roads that tend to overflow onto the main roads. This loose gravel causes low grip situations which can lead to bigger problems if you're not paying attention. However, you can watch our video, the 6 ways to tackle low grip situations, and sort yourself out that way. Roads are a higher risk of flash floods during storms, and detours can leave you lost or add a significant amount of time to your ride. Roads are also a danger because they don't offer shoulders, adequate space to perform wide U-turns, and construction can be sudden. There is nowhere to post a sign 2 miles away warning of construction. It's just going to be in progress. With normally a single lane in each direction, it's common to be stuck behind a slower moving vehicle for miles without having a safe distance to pass them. As an added risk, riding at night on these roads can lead to really bad judgment when cornering. It can lead to hitting wildlife. What may seem peaceful can become a nightmare. Bugs will flock to your helmet and face shield. In the wide open territories, there is no shelter from Mother Nature. In the urban or suburban environment, if a downpour is well, you might have a place to sit it out. In the rural area, there might not be any shelter for miles. No overpasses, no awnings, nothing. Wind will also be heavier, and the weather can change at the toss of a coin. Plan accordingly if you're going to be in rural areas for the entire day. Now, the benefits to riding in the rural areas are a lack of law enforcement's presence, traffic is non-existent, and the scenery can be beautiful depending on where you live. Rural roads have the most twisties and corners if you're into upping your street Rossi cred since things are far away. Enjoy spirited riding down roads with higher speed limits. If you're going to go for a solo ride or even a group ride during the day, going through a rural part of your area would be both beneficial and relaxing. However, another risk factor for rural riding is that if you were to have an emergency, it might be hours or even days until someone finds you. Cell signal is also notoriously bad in some places. Here in Texas, for example, there's several corners of hill country where there's literally no signal at all. So that's something to think about. Anyways, my dudes, I hope you enjoyed this video about different riding tactics in different environments. I hope you learned something. Remember to check the links below and find out how you can get started on our motorcycle giveaway. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you next time. See you later. Fact: elephants think humans are cute. In a study done on elephant brains, they light up in the same places we do when we look at a puppy. How sweet. Goodbye.